black. Okay, so I'm in a kind of a mood to do something different. I was looking at my CIA painting, and I was thinking I really like a lot of the details are they're interesting. There's lots of little crazy little patterns, and I'm just sort of like going over it. So I thought maybe I'm just gonna go and do a painting that's completely random, with like that's just sort of like this. It's gonna be like a random painting. Now maybe it won't. I just don't feel like thinking right now. I just feel like just doing. So I'm just gonna go and do something. And it's a small canvas. It's only 30 by 40 inches. I'm thinking like I'm gonna try to avoid like before I was doing like a horizon line, and definitely always had a vertical. There was an up and a down. So this one I don't want there to be an up and a down. I'm just thinking maybe I just want to do like a pattern of just like what I think are pretty objects and shapes and stuff. Okay, that's about as elaborate as I think I can be right now. And I'm just gonna put down what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna learn from my lessons before. When I want to do this kind of painting, and it's gonna be like maybe lots of little tiny brush strokes. It's smart to do an undercoat, because otherwise you're gonna have lots of white constantly poking through. And I'm not so sure. It's a pain in the butt to try to cover up or fill out, or however you want to describe it. Okay, can you see this? What the hell I'm doing? Maybe I'm moving over here to the side so I'm not in the way. Hey, Alita. I've been wanting to just have some fun for a while and do something that was just purely spontaneous. And I just don't want to think. I just want to just escape for a little bit. Hey, why don't I just turn upside down and see what happens when I do that? There we go. So, I'm not sure if this is going to be a dark, emotional painting, or if this is going to be a mysterious, or just trying to make something that humans would consider intrinsically beautiful. I thought about making just like a hole with all kinds of patterns around it, but I think, I have many different ideas coming through. And the one that I think I'm going to go with the most is, like I said, is just sort of like a uniform kind of pattern. There's nothing vertical about it, so I got to be careful of these drips, because these drips definitely make. Maybe I'll just go like this. The drips definitely start creating a direction. Okay. What I liked about starting off along these lines is these chaotic sort of strokes. They sort of create stuff for me to go into. Now, man, I could just stop right here and say I'm done. This is kind of nice, isn't it? That'd be hilarious. Unfortunately, there's a lot of art like that. I can just stop right there. But I won't. I feel like I need to go through a ritual. I think I need to go through a ritual of proving that I have ability and intention. And it's just not some just squiggles just because I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, if this was 100 years ago, something like this would be like, oh my God, it's revolutionary, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, you know? Look what how many seconds did this take? How many seconds did that take? Oh, it frustrates me. There's artists that do that's it. That's what they do. And all of a sudden, it's art. It's not art. I don't know. What the fuck is art? What is art? Hey, is this art?
That's art.
That's art?
That's art.
How much do you want to buy it for?
$500.
$500? No deal. All right. Okay. I'm gonna keep it vertical for a bit. Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
I prefer if you have like an apple or something, but
I have one of those.
after, okay. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm gonna go and let's just go on a little journey here. Let's go on a journey and see what this happens. So let's just see where this gets evolved to. Look at this crazy red. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. What should I do? What should I do? Let's just see where my hand goes with this. I have no more orange. No more orange. What's this? What is this? Move it back. Let's just watch. You know what? Let's just like, it was beautiful a few seconds ago. And I don't know. What is it going to become? Is it going to be squares? Is it going to be patterns? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What are you? What are you? Tell me what you are. What are you? Well, that's white. I don't want white. Oops. But there's white on the floor. Now there's white here. Stay. I like the sound of it. The canvas makes. It's like a drum. And I want yellow there. Who are you? Let's make this painting become something. What is it? I don't know what you are. I just don't want to think, right? I just don't want to think. I'm gonna sort of probably tune out for a bit as I go into this, you know, space. Let's just see where does it go. Could there be lots of little trees in there? What does it mean? I don't think. Just do something. Oh yeah, I remember my goal was to make, like, what if there was almost like a uniform. So right now it's all squiggly bullshit, isn't it? What if I try to do that original idea? More uniformity. Order and chaos somehow. That's where I'm going. There, fortunately, where I'm going is nowhere original. That's a problem. Hey, Miles. My brother's online here. Hey, Miles, check it out. Stonehenge. There's your Stonehenge. Do you see it? He'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm being too orderly. What is this? Yellow. Miles, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying not to think. I'm trying not to think. I'm just trying to see what happens. It's funny because I thought I was going to be doing lots of these little tiny brush strokes. And now that I get here, I'm doing something else. Let's just watch what my hand does. Let's just watch. Watch what it does. Something's going to come out of this. It's like time traveling, man. It's like leaving. Yeah. Stonehenge, Miles. That's pretty cool that you were there on that day. On the mystical day, you were there in Stonehenge, lying on the grass. Look it up. I don't want it to be nice right now. I don't want it to be nice. I don't want it to be... I don't want to do interior decorating. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do interior decorating. The problem is this painting has been done a million times to death. So I'm just gonna Stonehenge effect. Well, yeah, I drew the Stonehenge monuments for you, but it's not going to stay that way. Oh man, why does it have to be so loud? Oh. This painting was beautiful at 2 minutes. 2 minutes in, it was beautiful. And now, it's like, it's got to go through life. It's got to go through changes. It's got to grow up into something. You know what it is? I think that's what it is. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. Chris Paris just arrived here. Oh, Jan's watching. Oh, hey. Hey, guys. That's pretty cool. When I was just babbling, oh, Miles, I don't know if I've told other people on this thing. I babble. I have to talk when I'm painting because it helps lower the tinnitus. So that's something I've discovered recently, is that when I'm talking, when I'm painting, it takes it down. Like right now it's about a 7.5 to 8, which is pretty loud, like 8 out of 10, right? But when I talk while I'm painting, I can get it down to like a 5, which is very, very tolerable, right? 5 out of 10 as far as loudness. So I might just be talking about random garbage, and it's really just most time just to keep the tinnitus from driving me insane because it's so goddamn loud. Like if I was to stop right now, it's like literally someone is standing next to my ear yelling. So it's not fun. Anyhow, with this particular painting, I felt like just going wild, not wild, but not thinking at all, and just trying to see where it would evolve. And for some reason, I had an idea that it would be, and it may actually still happen. It might turn into lots of little controlled brushstrokes, like the one down the CIA one I did. It may not, but like right now when I'm up close, I'm not happy with some of these brushstrokes. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. But the problem is like this, like doing an abstract kind of paint like this, there's nothing special about this. You know, at most it'll be some nice little decoration. That's not what I want. What I want is, I don't know what I want actually when it comes to painting. Right now with this thing, I want this one to, basically it's like being a dad sort of, you know, you're watching your son grow up or your daughter grow up. I'm watching it happen. I don't know if I told you this before, but very often I just feel like I'm not even doing this. I'm watching someone else paint. And I like being in that zone. I like being in the zone because it's like you're floating in space. So I needed a little break from the tinnitus today, and I didn't feel like working on the big, well, I kind of do feel like working on that big one behind me. But that one is like, I'm crazy. Like up close, I'm worrying about every tiny, like, look at this. I'm like being fanatical about every little brushstroke has to be kind of in its own little place. Right? Look how big it is. It's like 6 feet across. This one I've just started is more like some kind of unconscious spilling out of my hand, and I don't want to think about anything. Hi, Susie. Yeah, so I'm just gonna watch where this thing grows up, what kind of adult it becomes. Are you making your Jan and Eddie sleep in the Chinese bed? That's what I want to know. the torture bed. I'm just talking to my brother. He's lived in China and brought back this ridiculously ornate antique Chinese bed, which was made for, I guess, the average height of people. And I'm not average height. I'm taller. And Eddie's what, 6'6"? So you're in this fucking horrible, creepy, no, like creaking antique bed with your feet over the edge about a foot. I'm enjoying watching the creative process, the evolution of art. Oh, they can't fit in, can they? Ah, that's the thing. Well, when I come over next, you better have a normal sized bed. Oh, the girls' beds they could sleep in now, right? That's the joke when I used to go visit my brother. The Chinese bed. Hated that stupid bed. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. There's no way in the world that this is ever going to be considered a masterpiece by any imagination. You want to know why? Because this has been done. This particular painting, this art, this bullshit thing. But screw it, I'm going to do it anyhow. I don't care. I don't care. What is this? Let's just do this horrible orange. Ew, look at that orange. It's terrible. I'm going to add some of it here. In fact, I'm going to even add water to make that orange drip down. It has no meaning. Okay. Let's I'm gonna go in here. Get up nice and close and getting close in here. Let's turn it this way. This is a little bit of Iskowitz over here in the corner I'm just doing right now. Iskowitz. Gershwin Iskowitz. Look him up. And this is unofficially looking Kaninsky. No. Kaninsky, yeah. Man, I wish I was one of those painters like Kaninsky where doing this for the first time was novel. You know, and all I'm left with is chasing behind somebody. I just don't like that feeling because I'm not trying to copy anybody. I'm not trying to copy. I wonder if there's any room. You know what I thought about doing? I thought about switching from painting to working in VR. Hey, Igor. How's it going, man? Igor, I'm really impressed that you've kept up with your martial arts, man. I think you primarily do judo, and I try to do I went and did what I really wanted to do was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And about a couple years ago, I went to do a class, and my knee is so bad, I was dead. The next week, I could hardly even walk. So I'm really happy that you were able to keep it up, and that's awesome. Because I know you're younger than me, but you're getting up there in age too. And it's really, really cool to see that you kept that up. That's one of the few things I kind of have regrets for, is that I didn't keep up martial arts. I had to stop when I was 27 because I blew my knee out for the 4th time. And it was too painful and dangerous for me to do anymore. I had 4 sports injuries. The last one was martial arts. And I still can't go faster than walk because the knee's so bad. But man, that's cool. Igor's someone I used to work with years ago. He's a programmer, and he's also an artist, and he's a poet, and he's a martial artist. And yeah, we worked together in the 90s making games for a company, which was a pretty funny experience. And then for a little while we trained doing some martial arts. We met, what was that guy's name, Igor? Was it? Love you asked we should do an exchange. Sure, man. What was that? Remember that Chinese old guy who was teaching us? We would go to the park and we train a bit. Master Matthew Hui or something like that. Remember that? We would. I can't remember even which park we went to. It was a high park, and I think you were doing more training with him, and I was sort of like invited to come in for a little while. But I still remember that. That was a cool experience. I like training outdoors. That was fun. Matthew Hui? Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened to that guy? Michael Hui. Matthew Hui. I saw him last month. No way. Huh. Aren't you in California? I thought you were in, for some reason I thought you were in California. And maybe that guy's in California too. Do you remember what martial art he was doing? Was it like some... I thought it was like a Chinese Red Army or something. Like, wasn't he like a general or something? Chinese Red Army fighting style or something? I can't remember what it was. I still remember some of the things we were training. The grab with the wrist, and then I think it's like you kick to the knee, and then you just pull over the elbow and take down. I still remember some of those. I like the big flower abstract one you did recently. I think you sold it. It looks really nice. I'm talking to Igor. So all I'm doing is I'm going into the stuff I've done before and finding patterns and then playing with it. You know, I'm just sort of just like letting my hand do the work. So I like doing this. This is kind of fun. I'm just so worried about. What am I worried about? But it's derivative. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll just stop worrying about that shit and just do this and just see where it takes me. And I'm just going to focus on trying to make all areas of it become art as I believe art to be. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to worry so much that... Yeah, this is where I need to be. See, now it's calming, everything's calming down. All the buzzing, the sound is calming down a bit. Scrape some colors onto here. Scrape some colors onto there. Oops, I don't know if you can see that. There's a woman I follow on Instagram, and she does, she's Japanese. I don't remember her name, Emily something. And she does these very whimsical paintings like Paul. Imagine if Paul Klee was a landscaped artist. And she's constantly doing them, and look, it's fun, man. I like what she's doing. She's having fun. She's probably not stressing out like an idiot like me. Worrying about ridiculous things. Emily something or other. I could probably look it up. Uh-oh, the noise is back. It's loud, it's so loud, just keep talking. It's like a machine sound. It's like a goddamn machine like noise. It's always there, it's always there. So loud. Can you see this? Who's that? Who's bugging me? Oh, my buddy wants to know if I want to go to Costco. I'm really liking Costco, man. That's fun to shop there. I went there a few days ago. I ended up buying like a duvet cover. I got a duvet cover. I got like, what else did I get? 50. I made chicken thighs. I made one pack of like about, I don't know, there's got to be 30 or 40. So my buddy and his kid and my kid and I, we all had like dinner. Tons of chicken thighs. It's such a, like the quantities. Oh, and I bought like this giant thing of coffee. Like this, I don't even know how many. There's got to be like 70, like those pod things. This is insane. It's like some sort of dystopian world. When you go in there, you've got these things, crates stacked high. Well, the world is starving, and here we are looking at giant jars of pickles, knowing that you don't need most of the stuff. It's like a drug addiction. It's like instant gratification fulfilling. Like, you know, you buy this thing and you're temporarily get a shot of serotonin and dopamine in your brain, and so you do this impulse shopping. Oops. I'm just gonna get another drink out of the fridge. Hold on. Be right back. You can look at this. And this. Oh, it's sad that I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I don't know why. It's not quite finished, but I kind of like it. I've got 2 large canvases over here left over. They look like they're about 4x6s. 2 4x6 canvases left. And I almost actually busted one open, like unwrapped it from the plastic and started doing one of these. Except I just noticed I had a 40 by 30 here. So I thought maybe I'll just start small. And if I like what evolves here, I'll do a big one of these. Whatever these are. In one day, I think of so many ideas for paintings. Like this morning, when I was I took my dog down to the beaches, and I was thinking about what if I did portraits of people who I thought were douchebags, like AJ. God, how do you pronounce his name? Piat. He's like the head of the FCC, you know, and there's like all kinds of politicians, and just do portrait of douchebags. And I realized, you know, that sounds great and all, but who the hell would want to buy it? You know what I mean? And because I have to be a little practical here when it comes to painting. Every once in a while, I should consider selling stuff. Well, that's kind of nice what I just did right down here. Right in this little corner here. I guess because when I was young, I really liked Gershwin Iskowitz. He was an abstract painter, and I've always had strong feelings about abstract painting, positive and negative. But there's something about his stuff I just liked. It really appealed to me, those shapes and the simple brush strokes. And he was probably just doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is just going with the flow and just seeing what happens. Like what I really should be doing is, I mean, no, I'm not going to say I really should be doing. Take a look. Yeah, this really has a strong Kandinsky, Paul Klee kind of vibe to it, or Jean Miro. I think it's because of the colors, the thin lines. You know, Kandinsky would do these wispy kind of like long lines and chunks of color, and then Iskowitz would do those kind of blocks, and then Paul Klee would just have fun all around. I always liked Paul Klee. And I think it's Emile Nolde. I always, you know, I see things, problems. I've read about all these people. When I was a kid, I used to read art books. I just loved reading about, you know, looking at the pictures mostly. So I never really knew how to pronounce many of their names. Like one of my favorite artists is, God damn it, Odilon Rodin. And I have no idea if that's how you pronounce his name. I've never actually taken the time to look for a video where someone pronounced his name. Odilon Rodin or something like that. And Toulouse-Lautrec. Like this color is Toulouse-Lautrec. That blue right there. Toulouse-Lautrec. He was actually a pretty good artist too. And Gauguin is someone I there's something weird about Gauguin where I really love his stuff, but I'd never get close to it. What I mean is I don't fall into it. I don't know why. Like Van Gogh, I can fall into. Toulouse-Lautrec, some of his stuff. Degas had just some beautiful drawings of simple lines with the colors. I think Matisse was okay. He's maybe a little overrated. Picasso was massively overrated. I'm almost embarrassed when people talk about how they like Picasso, and I'm like, eesh. Ugh. No thanks, man. Not that good. It's not that good. You want to know who a master painter was? There's very few master painters in my books. Van Gogh was one of them. What's that jerk's name? He's a bit of a jerk. Lucien Freud, master painter, for sure. Cézanne, I didn't actually like that much. Cézanne, I think, is overrated. I think his landscapes are kind of boring, and the still lifes are kind of boring, and I like for me, the only thing Cézanne did to me that was ever kind of like, oh, cool, was the rim lighting on fruit. Where he'd put the lighting on the fruit would be rim lighting would be very pronounced in different colors, and he would play with the colors, and that was kind of nice. But other than that, Cézanne, no big deal. I think Tom Thompson was getting pretty close to being a master as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. There's not many other people that were up there, because for me, they have to prove themselves to me that their stuff wasn't just squiggly bullshit, like this. That they actually could. They were. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I guess I'm just doing my talking to keep myself from going crazy from the noise. That's probably mostly what it is. How are we doing here with this thing? It's kind of fun to watch it evolve, actually. Time's flown by. It's been 48 minutes? That felt like a few seconds. Wow. I definitely space out when I do this sometimes. It's almost like, that multiple personality dissociative disorder. I get lost, man. I just sort of I'm like somebody else takes over. I'm in some artistic kind of possession. It's actually a little freaky because I've said this repeatedly, I'm very private, so I don't even know what half the things I'm saying sometimes. I've thought a bunch of times just deleting all my videos because maybe I've said something insulting or offensive. My intention is never to be I'm such an open-minded person, and I can't be insulted. You can't say something to me that's really gonna hurt my feelings. It just doesn't work. I don't. Nothing. You can say anything you wanted. I don't care. But I know there are people that I could say something and it wouldn't be the intention, but so I have to be a little careful, I guess. But I'm telling you, when I'm painting, it's not me anymore. There's a alternate kind of universe I slip off to, and I get to watch this happen. I think that's why art can be therapeutic, because your mind lets yourself free itself for a while. At least for me. I just sort of just disappear, and I'm floating in what are those? Deprivation chambers. I've never actually been in one, but I kind of envision that's what it's like a little bit. I'm floating in this deprivation chamber while watching a screen of someone else do these things. I don't know if anybody's listening. Anybody even here? Can't tell. No one's here. Okay. Probably for the best. Yeah, but it brings some softness back in. And I like doing this. This is actually kind of nice. I'm looking for areas, and I'm just going to do these soft little circles. If something seems to happen when I do it. It just feels good. Excuse me. Like, I wonder if there's like, I would like to know if there's been any studies done with abstract art to see emotionally the impact it has. And maybe that's its value. Maybe that's what its value is. It has like some kind of impact, emotional impact. But I would want the study to be cross-cultural. Like, I would like to see if there's a universal response, not just a culturally biased response, you know, like I wonder if there is art that affects all people across cultures the same. For sure there has to be. I mean, because, you know, colors are universal, right? You'll never avoid the fact that blood is red and tends to represent caution or a primal, you know, primal instincts, because if there was blood, there's certain things that have happened, and we've learned to evolve to deal with those things. So I say for sure color is important. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to, again, go in and make, I'm trying to make art. I can't just, it sounds so stupid, but I'm trying to make every little brushstroke have like some sort of like beauty inside itself. Like every little thing here isn't a random splash. I'm trying to do the opposite of Jackson Pollock, basically. Well, that's not even that fair, is it? Because I am sure, you know, he thought deeply about trying to make little art marks too. So maybe I'm just full of shit. Maybe I'm just being a big hypocrite right now. Because maybe Jackson Pollock himself, personally, despite the support, let's call it, he got, he was generally trying to do something original. Man, I mean, this is very enjoyable to me right now. Like, I'm really, holy, this is better than probably any, well, I don't know. I don't really do drugs, so I can't really just compare it. But barring having experimented with lots of drugs, I would say that were properly the right drugs or whatever you want to call it, I just don't do it. This is plenty enough for me. Like, I'm getting hits of dopamine. I can just feel it. Maybe I'll take a break. Feels about an hour, almost. Might be fun to come back. Yeah. Okay. Let's just how long's it been? 59 minutes and 24 seconds. That is so spooky. I always feel like I can know when when an hour passes. It's literally a few 30 seconds away from being an hour. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. Show you some of these weird details. I don't know what it means. I can't explain it. It's something. I think I might. Yeah, I had a feeling I'm gonna come back to it. I kind of feel like busting out that really large canvas over there, starting on a really big one. But yeah. Okay, that's enough for now. Thanks for watching.